All right, it's Reusse Unchained presented by Josh Arnold, investment consultant, Mr. Money Talk. So we've got four main things to get to. We got Vikings 4-0. We got Pohlad's ruffling all feathers. Cat got traded. Pete Rose passed away. Let's start Vikings 4-0, 28-0 lead. Your thoughts on Vikings, Pat? Let's start there.
My thought yesterday, my thought was, as I contemplated it, that actually during the game, the first 28 minutes were the best the Vikings have been in 64 years. It was unbelievable. They just overran them defensively. They moved the ball. They threw the ball great. They ran the ball great. Aaron Jones was sticking it to his former team. Then crazy thing happened at the end of the half, and did anybody ever think they were going to lose? I never thought they were going to lose. Did you? Even when they were coming back, I did not.
When it got to be 6 points and the Vikings had the ball with 10 minutes to go, if they go 3 and out here, I think they're losing. But then they hit the first pass to Jefferson, and okay, we're back. We're back.
And Jefferson's catch on that sideline, unbelievable. He was doing it. Somebody said Chris Carter, except he was doing it faster than Chris Carter. Yes. Chris used to kind of get on the line and then catch it there. He was doing it faster on that. Of course, I had a great time on Twitter saying that toe tap should silence all the Justice and Jefferson critics out there. What critic? But yeah, he's something, man. This whole idea that he was going to be, just a few people thinking that he was going to be upset because they traded Kirk. He wasn't going to be upset. He was going to take his money and he was going to be great no matter who was throwing the ball to him. So,
and he knew that. That's the thing, though. Yes. It was never this. Well, Kirk makes me. He knew the entire time he can make any quarterback look better, and that catch and Pat, the two catches that he made in a 3-play sequence that resulted in the field goal that put the Vikings back up 9. He was blanketed. He's blanketed. He's still going to catch that ball.
Yeah, throw the ball near him. It was people. Well, he said he liked playing with Kirk. Well, yeah, of course he did. What is he going to say? I thought the guy was a bum, and I'm glad we got rid of him. I mean, he's he's not one of those mercurial personalities who's he does have personality, but he's not. He's not looking to be offended like so many wide receivers are. Right?
You see, DJ Moore in Chicago continues to he catches a touchdown pass to put the Bears in front, and he waves his teammates off. He's very grumpy about the whole offense. Yeah. We don't get that with Jefferson.
No, you don't. He's a fan, just a fantastic receiver, and he's got the great attitude about it. And if the other team decides to triple team him and keep him from catching 2 balls, he'll be fine with that too, I think, as long as they keep winning. But it is funny that you look now and you say, okay, the over and under on this team was 6.5. What was the deal here? What did people? I guess they did not know the defense was going to be this good. You knew they were smart enough to know the offensive line was going to be better, right? Weren't they smart enough to know that?
But Darnold,
Aaron Jones was going to be better. They questioned Darnold. Okay.
It's Sam.
Big time.
Yeah, they thought that Kirk actually in the last 2 years had just improved himself. They didn't know that O'Connell was basically propping up Kirk. Now Kirk played well, but I think that they thought that Sam was going to be, the Jets Darnold, and that's 6.5 wins right there.
Yeah.
If he is.
Yes, and maybe, yeah. But if he was bad enough to hold this team to 6.5 wins, he would have been benched after about 4 games. They would have tried somebody else. So
correct.
I mean, he's I never saw what all the pessimism was about, but I guess it was overrating Kirk was one of the reasons, and but and you still. I don't think people are still getting their arms around the fact this is a really good offensive line. They got the tackles and they got everybody else too. I mean, the offensive line was never as bad the last couple of years as the Kirk apologists tried to make it, because every time anybody was within 4 feet of them, they thought, oh, look at, why don't they give him a clean pocket and stuff like that. So anyway, it's but the defense has been unbelievable. The first half was a jailbreak for Jordan Love, man. They were knocking him all over the place. It was something. They had him very confused. But I don't know what should we take out of the second half? You think the Packers found something, or was it just them getting finally riled up because they were getting embarrassed so much? I don't know. I think
if the Vikings, if their biggest problem through 4 games is how do we play with a 3 and 4 touchdown lead better, then these are good problems to have.
Well, the other thing is they're only. I saw on ESPN, now maybe the line's higher here, 2.5 against the Jets and poor old Aaron, who they're going to kill. That's free money. That's free money. If
no
it stays
respect.
At 2.5.
Bet the house.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet the house. I'm gonna go to the St. Croix Casino. Take $10,000 bets.
We'll
figure it out.
I'm heading out there. If it stays 2.5, for God's sakes, it's free money. It's not. That's no contest. The Jets stink. Their defense is mediocre, but their offense is terrible. Well, they get beat 10-9, right?
10-9 at home. It was rainy. It was a little rainy and windy, but I love it. We bust that excuse out.
Aaron looks every bit of 41 or whatever, 40 or 41. He does not. The idea that he's still Aaron Rodgers is ridiculous. He's
over or under 14.5 eye rolls at his offensive line during that London game on Sunday.
Yes, yeah, it'll be bad. And he doesn't have a prime group of receivers either. He had to bring in the guy that he had in Green Bay, right? What's his
Lazard?
Lazard. You had to bring in Lazard to throw to, for goodness sakes. And the Packers didn't even want him. So, it's fantastic. It's to see a Viking crowd fan base who's saying they knew this was going to happen all along. It was interesting because they were all saying, they shouldn't sign Jefferson. They should trade him because they can really load up on cap space then. Yeah.
I feel like, listen, Purple Daily, we were being attacked for saying that they might win 9 games. Well, you guys are being homers. 9 wins.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. That's why they're winning. It's not any fluke. They're good.
The coach is really good. That's the thing. He's really they've built a nice team, but he is really good. He maximizes guys, and the defensive coordinator for the most part is fantastic.
He's got nothing to do with the defense.
No, but I'm saying the coaching.
I wonder if O'Connell even stops in the room to say hello once in a while.
He claims he does, but the coaching is really good.
Anybody need any snacks? No, we're good. Okay.
No, he's now. People were getting on him a little bit about once again not running clock when they were when they had the lead, but he's fine. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. So, okay, Pat, Joe Pohlad, among many quotes from a brilliantly tucked away small media scrum during the middle of a Vikings-Packers game on Sunday, said, quote, "I have a business to run, and it comes with tough decisions, and that's what I had to do, cut payroll. I wouldn't make any other decision because that's the position that we are in." And then about 50 other references to "I have a business to run." What are your thoughts?
I really didn't know what message he was trying to deliver there. I think after the finish, you should just go in there and be a little humble and say that we're trying to figure out what went wrong here, and we might have to change our plans. Trying to act like he did the right thing is ridiculous, but he's overmatched. Let's face it. He's Jim was fine because he never said anything, right? This guy's trying to talk his way out of it. Jim would have just said, "Oh, well, we'll see what we do." But he's overmatched. They ought to get. The rumor is that Falvey might be the team president. That wouldn't be a bad idea to have somebody like him do the talking instead of and because Falvey's there, and when he's next to Joe Pohlad, he can't. You got to go with whatever lingo Joe is deciding to deliver. But hey, Joe has been tone deaf from the first day he prominently took the position, which was that day at the rotunda. And they talked to us about the whole new era of Twins baseball and showed off the Miami Marlins hat. That was the whole new era of Twins baseball. And as I said the other day, and then they had a little place there where you could sell new jerseys, and they were $350 a piece with this crowd of blue collar people there. So they everything they've done is since I mean every public appearance he's tried to make, he's overmatched. He doesn't have any idea what he's doing, and it's they gotta get themselves another spokesperson. That's for sure.
So you think it's possible that would Falvey slide into? Would he still be baseball ops? Would they bump Thad and hire a different baseball ops guy?
No, it won't be Thad. Thad's gone. I heard his contract's up. I don't think Thad will be around next year. They're trying to get him another job someplace else, but he hasn't made a decision for 5 years. This whole Falvey thing has been nonsense for about at least for maybe at the original when Falvey was overmatched trying to talk too. Remember when he first started, he couldn't stumble his way through a sentence because he was so nervous.
Yeah,
But
Thad did all of the interviews for like two or 3 years.
And Thad was great because he's funny and smart. But Falvey's now confident in himself and his position. And I don't know, when you have a fade like that, you got to be apologetic. You got to say, yeah, and as you say, tone deaf if you're not paying attention to what's the anger of the fans here is. To me, it's still not so much what they did during the offseason. It's what they didn't do at the trading deadline when they had played good for. You'd played good for 3 months almost, and now you can see your shortcomings. You can see you don't have enough pitching, and you don't do a damn thing about it. You got a chance to win, and you decide not to take it. Was ridiculous, and I don't know if it. I don't know if it was management saying you can't take on a salary for 2 months or what it was. I have no idea why that decision was made. But if the Tigers want to try to trade Flaherty, give them somebody and take them, right? Then you wouldn't have had to, or somewhere, get a pitcher somewhere. And it was they brought it on themselves, and they it's I'd hate to be out calling up the clients this winter and trying to get them to buy tickets. Wow.
Yeah, they're getting dropped left and right. Hey, Pat, do you think so? So Jim ran the team for years, and then I think decided to step aside. Joe is Bob's kid. Bob, I don't think cares about the baseball side much. Do you think the Pohlads want to beyond trying to profit off the team? Do they want to do this? Like, it feels like Joe is defaulted more than ascended.
Bobby is a very influential person in the family. He always had more interest in baseball than people give him credit for, and I think it might have been maybe it's our turn to run this thing, and maybe give Joe the job. I'm not sure that it was. I don't think Jim liked being the face anymore, and he wasn't very often the face, but. Right. But Bobby was more involved. It's been a two-man operation. I don't think Bill has been involved at all, hardly. I mean, he's the third vote, but Bobby has been. He's just a much more dynamic guy than Jim is. So I think that he was very much involved in the decision to elevate Joe to this position, which and he's obviously overmatched for it, and I don't know what the hell they're going to do.
So they could, in a couple weeks or a month or whatever the timeline is, because right now the public message is, hey, no major changes. Falvey stays, Rocco stays. People are pissed. But in like a month, it could be, Thad Levine's contract expired. We're going to bring in somebody else as a right-hand man, and we're going to fire a couple coaches or something, right?
That's what we're going to do. But it all depends upon what they do this winter. But there's a huge turnover of this roster coming right now. There's a huge turnover. The veterans that they had here did not work. Santana the last 6 weeks was as good as he played. He's not coming back. Farmer's not coming back. Kepler's not coming back. They're gonna have a half a new team at least, and when they come, it's gonna be which is good. It's going to be unrecognizable, but they're going to have to do the stuff this winter to make up for the guys they're losing, right? They can't, they're going to. How much payroll are they getting rid of? Not a lot.
Well,
They get rid of Kepler's 11
someone told reporters off the record right after the Pohlad press conference. I assume it was Joe or Dustin or somebody off the record said that they will not be cutting payroll further. But that's kind of a mirage because Pablo's contract spikes, Correa's contract spikes. Just because you're losing Farmer and Kepler's $10 million, and then you're replacing with arbitration guys. So.
Yeah, I no, I don't. I think they'll do something. I mean, I think they'll be active this winter, but a lot of the activity is going to be that the 14 guys they ended up with, 7 of them are gone. At least, I think 7 of them won't be back next year. So, I don't know what to say outside of that. It depends upon how smart they are remaking the roster. I'm sure they're going to tell us how Emmanuel Rodriguez is going to have a big impact, and then he's going to play 40 games just like everybody else does because he gets hurt all the time too. So I don't know. They just I don't think that people being mad is Falvey's going to make the baseball decisions. I think they're going to have to give him, 140 million, 130, $40 million payroll and say, go do what you can do. I don't think they're going to, the fact we're not going to cut it any further is people go out and supposed to have a parade over that. I don't think so. They got to be able to spend what they want to. You know what you can do? You can really go through the office over there where they got 120 people with iPads, and you got the guy telling you that you should have brighter lights, and whoever told them they should have brighter lights in the clubhouse, you don't need that guy. Fire him. You can go over there and get rid of their baseball department is spending tens of tremendous millions of dollars. They've never cut back any of that, but they're cutting back the payroll for the players. It's stupid. Get rid of 30 of those people over there and, make some. You don't need a biochemist. You don't need all this crap. Get yourself 20 good baseball people. And I'm not saying old school. I'm saying whatever you want to do. But we don't need that many. They just keep adding millions to the baseball department every year, and it's stupid.
Yeah. Karl-Anthony Towns reuniting with Tom Thibodeau. Your thoughts?
He was apparently, Cat was at the New York facility yesterday, right? The Knicks facility, I heard.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
I didn't even know that was legal. What was he?
Well, he's just a visitor coming in to hang
checking
out.
it out. Longtime Knicks fan.
Yeah.
All I got to tell you about Cat and Nick and Tibbs, Cat never missed a game when Tibbs coached. He played 82, and then the next year he hadn't missed a game. And when Tibbs got fired in January, and then he started missing some games. So the idea that Tibbs really likes. I got a note from a guy who I know in the NBA said Tibbs likes Cat way better than people think he does. That Tibbs is a big Cat fan. So that's what he told me. So.
Yeah, I think it was more Butler versus Cat, and maybe there was some Wiggins frustration.
Yes.
It was more on the player level than like a coach falling out. But yeah, this was. I mean, Tim Connolly, man, just in the shadows. A Friday night, he drove to Cat's house at 9:00 on Friday night to tell him in person.
It's The Departed.
Just knocks on the door with his scrubs on.
Yeah, and then Cat and the old man are shooting hoops at 3 a.m. that same night, right? Did he go to the facility?
That's what the timestamp said.
Yeah. Well, this whole idea of that, Cat was, I don't know. I'm sure Cat's happier than a clam that he's going to be in New York. If he plays good, he'll be a hero in the biggest town in the world. So
yeah, to that point, I just want to. Maybe you can tell me I'm wrong on this, Pat, but the trade gets announced through the media on like Friday night, and Saturday and Sunday, and even leaking into Monday. It's like 90% of Wolves community is mourning the loss of, as if Kevin Garnett got traded again at the height of his powers or something.
Yes.
I mean, let's pump the brakes a little bit here.
I said that yesterday. I said he's more, because on Twitter, at least, in places like that, people want to be critical, So it's, how could you trade Cat? Although, if you would have done the same, if it would have been a year ago, is how can they pay Cat that much money? It was, there was a very strong negative among the fan base about Cat, which has now disappeared because they got rid of Cat. So they want to complain about something, but I think it all depends on me on Julius Randle. What attitude does he bring, and how's he fit? Somebody told me that he's not a great fit for Ant, but as a player, he's not a great fit for Ant. But Sam Mitchell was at the Lynx game, and I went over and said hello to him, and he said, "I like the trade." So anyway, I like the trade too.
Well, DiVincenzo is the sneaky centerpiece of this thing. He makes nothing. $11 million next 3 years.
Yeah, how come they made us, because of money reasons, did they have to take that Diop, whatever his name is, too, the 3-name guy?
Diop, yeah.
So he'll probably cut him, huh?
Yeah, they've got
a
pretty deep. They've got 10 deep without even talking about the young players that
at least 10 deep. And what is old
Joe Ingles,
Finchy, who likes playing 8 guys. Yeah, Joe Ingles too. He's a shooter, and Finchy, plus he draft choices. They both got it. Terrence Shannon's got to play. He's good. So I think, you know what? I was going to ask you this, Judd. When did Louis announce too much talent? Was that 80? You were a kid, but was that 82?
Yeah.
82. The North Stars raiding around, and Louis' famous quote, that next fall, we got too much talent. I think the Timberwolves now have the same problem.
Yeah.
They got too much talent.
Yeah. It's
it's
a burden.
Poor Luka thought he was going to get some playing. What's poor Luka? Is Luka still going to have to be in Iowa again? I think he got a one-way contract this time. So
yeah,
I want Luka. Free Luka.
Yeah, well, he'll get some. I mean, Julius Randle's not exactly an Iron Man, so he might sneak into a game or two. And then Pat, last minute here, but Pete Rose dead, 83 years old.
One of the most fun times I ever had. I was in Cincinnati for 3 days as we were waiting for him to get the hit. And 45 minutes before every game, talking to this massive media, 45 minutes after every game, never told the same story in 3 days. It was unbelievable. The greatest storyteller interview in the history of the game. Certainly a weird personality, but damn could he talk. It was unbelievable. So...
Yeah. Once famously took a tombstone pile driver at WrestleMania.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's a WWE Hall of Famer.
Oh, really? They put him in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
I did not know that the Reds have a statue out in front of their stadium, and it's him diving. It's the most unique.
That's cool.
Diving into a base. It's the most unique statue in baseball, and I imagine the Major League administration wasn't terribly happy with them putting up a statue of Pete, but the poor guy, man, all he ever wanted was to have him change their mind and put him in the Hall of Fame, and they wouldn't do it. So,
and now that he's dead, does that happen eventually?
Well, he had a quote saying, "What good's it going to do me if I'm dead when they do this?" So yeah.
I'd say at this point, yeah. I mean,
why not?
Joe Jackson.
You should have done it. So
I saw him at Cooperstown. We saw him at Cooperstown
signing
in July. They're signing someplace. Yeah, poor guy, unbelievable. All right,
Pat. Jets. Never a dull moment around here,
man.
Pat.
No, it's unbelievable. Thank you.
All right, Reusse Unchained, presented by Josh Arnold.